And
what
let's
was your answer,
see
Trump?
how we're doing. Hello, folks! Thank you, Zan, for raiding into me. This is Dooming with me, Draggor. We've got 2 guests today. We've got SemJay returning. I had the date looked up, and now I can't find that note card where I wrote it down. But I think it was in December. Does that sound right?
You know what? I probably have it still saved in my phone, but yeah, I'm honestly not. I'm honestly not sure. It was a while ago.
Yeah, we've got SemJay returning, and then we also have Xargoz, my meat space brother, and we're going to talk about service animals and other things as well while playing Doom.
Ooh.
I literally have it in my phone as Doom with like 100 O's.
Good. I support this product and/or service. We are playing Quake Champions Doom Edition. It is a wonderful, crazy mod made by a bunch of folks in the community. This is based off of the original Doom and Doom 2 games and engines. It's kind of crazy. I love that this is a thing. We're gonna do the interview portion first. And then, if you have seen or been part of any of the Doomware games, that's the WarioWare mod, but in Doom, there is a new release for that. So that will happen at some point later. Anyone who does want to join, you can go to the link above, draggor.me/doom. That has instructions and links to get any and all of the files needed to play the game with us. It is completely free, so do please join us. A note on that, we are testing this out. This is the first time we are playing on a new server I have installed. Everything should be fine and everyone should be able to join in, but if for whatever reason someone's having trouble, you can mention in the chat, and I do hope to be able to check it and see it. Otherwise, if y'all are on the Discord and I can actually hear you, I will check it out that way. You can also text chat in the server if you make it in, but if you're having troubles, probably couldn't text chat there. But yeah, this should be more equitable. I will now no longer have the lowest ping of everyone guaranteed. Little bit of a dirty trick to host the server and connect to it and then go, aha, my ping!
Yeah.
But it is in Chicago, and I am in Chicago, and my ping is, let's see, where are we at? Oh, I'm up to 19. I was at 13 earlier. Okay, I am going to move us over to the live chat, and we can start happy fragging while discussing.
I killed Buffalo Wild.
Alrighty.
Mean Wild Wings?
What?
Never mind.
Okay,
Hello.
I am in the game. Xargoz and SemJay, you both should be as well.
I'm just
pretty sure
fragged, SemJay.
Yep, so I am definitely in the game.
Hooray! So at any point, kind of as last time, if you want to change up the mode, one of the ones that Xargoz likes to recommend is called Unholy Trinity. It's where everyone spawns with a rocket launcher, railgun, and lightning gun with infinite ammo. This is just the regular...
I won?
Oh, yay!
Wow, there really is no one playing.
Let's see. When the next map spawns, I'm going to try adding some bots just to see what happens.
Hey, Dasta, you should join the game. We need more people. I'm trying to get my one partner to. He's playing Monster Hunter though. He's kind of shaking his head at me like, no, I'm not gonna play.
Doesn't have to. There's no requirement, but the more, the merrier. I think I have the server set to allow 32 people, which probably would be overcrowded for the levels we're doing, but it would be interesting. All right, so now that it's started, let's see. Is everyone in? Player 1985 is not. So let's do add bot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, there's bots. Okay, I do believe we are ready to go. SemJay, thank you for returning.
I have returned.
Huzzah!
Haven't been. Not much has happened since the last time I talked to you guys. Just a lot of sitting in the house still, and yeah, that's about it.
Well, I saw.
I did.
I saw you have been vaccinated. Are you in
I
like the
have.
full post 2 weeks? Like, are you super done, or do you still have a little bit more time to go?
No, technically last Wednesday would have been the full 2 weeks. So
Nice. That
Yeah,
is
I
this
just-
coming Wednesday for me.
yeah, it's exciting. I'm still like, I accidentally walked in somewhere the other day without a mask on, and it was embarrassing. But
Oh,
it was in
no.
Wisconsin, so it was
So
in
no one
Wisconsin.
noticed?
So no, there was like in the place I was in, I would say it was like 75% of people not wearing a mask,
Oh,
and then like
ew.
25% people. Yeah, so I was just kind of like, oh hey, and then I was like, oh no.
Is everyone in your household in the safe spot of the 2 weeks?
Yeah. My one partner, Dasta, is a healthcare worker. So he got vaccinated in Group 1A.
Oh wow.
And
yeah.
then Taryn and me both have pulmonary disabilities, so we were vaccinated in 1B plus.
Yep. I was 1B plus, which is how I got in, and then I didn't realize until after the fact. I went through ZocDoc, and apparently there was this weird, like, thing where they opened it to 1B plus, but they weren't supposed to, but I had already gotten the appointment.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oops.
I didn't do anything wrong. I did all my due diligence, but then after I did it, I'm like, oh, here, I'll help, the next person in the chain get it now that I've got it, because, I've got all my different lung and body problems. And then
Exactly.
I'm going through the exact same thing. They're, if anything, more eligible than I am due to other conditions that I won't disclose. And then
And
it's
you're
like,
not
oh, you're
required to.
technically not in this group. I'm like, but I just got it.
Yeah.
And then there was a Tribune article or something about how several Chicagoland vaccine places totally mucked up all of their rollouts. So it's like,
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, we booked through Walgreens, and in order to book through Walgreens, like, we had to like jump through all these hoops. We had to wake up at 6 a.m. when they released all the appointments and book that way. And our first vaccine was pretty close to our house at a Walgreens close to our house, and then the second one was all the way in Rockford. So yeah, we kind of had to travel for ours.
yeah. I unmuted you, Xargoz.
You did it.
Yay! I saw that your name was unmute me, and then someone else changed their name to it.
hmm
Sorry about that.
No, it was my fault. You just don't notice.
Well, no, I went to right-click and do it, and here's what was weird. I mean, obviously it's operator error, but Discord was also being weird. There's 2 different colors and check marks for, like, regular mute and server mute. And I somehow removed the server mute, but then somehow managed to put you back on, like, a regular mute. So I couldn't tell, just at a glance, that I doinked it up. So,
Yeah, Discord
poopsie.
kind of sucks.
So yeah, I guess this is our first or second. I think last week you were Xargoz. The official
Yeah.
name for you for now until you deem otherwise is you are Xargoz. Your dog is Jumbles.
Yep. As I become more involved with the community, I figured I should pick a more permanent name. I'm not like most of the furries where, I don't really put much stock in an online persona of any kind or even a username.
Yeah, we're a little different in that regard.
Yeah, typically I'm kind of just using whatever my most recent WoW character name is, which changes once per expansion. So,
But this
That's okay.
does...
I've changed my persona name a bunch of times, but it always just ends up becoming SemJay again. So I guess I'm just stuck with that.
well, yeah, and so like what really made me change was again like thinking long term was I didn't want to take the dog's name and really long term like what happens when she's gone and stuff. So I
Yeah.
figured I'd just nip it in the bud and change it up. And so Xargoz was my first WoW character's name, and it was a name I came up with. I mean, not whatever, but just seemed a good way to go. And Draggor and Xargoz, I think, kind of has a good ring to it.
It
you know
is,
what I mean?
and while it's not WoW, it's very, very, very similar. But Draggor was a Dungeons and Dragons character before I even knew what furry was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, based on my trajectory, it was a matter of time.
Well, I believe SemJay was actually before furry too. It was like just a nickname I had in high school. Like, because my nickname in high school was Sema, and I don't know how I got SemJay out of it. I think it was because of, like, MJ, like Michael Jordan. I don't know. But,
Wasn't
yeah.
it? I might be confusing you with someone else of a similar name, but, like, was SemJay Hawk? Or, like, was Jayhawk part of it?
Yes, that's what it was. I can't believe I'm that dumb. So my nickname was Sema. Well, it still is. My short for my name is Sema, and my middle school was called J Stream Middle School, and the mascot was the Jayhawks. So that's kind of how I came up with that name. Was just Sema Jayhawk, and then when LiveJournal came around, I couldn't just make Sema Jayhawk. I think that was too long, so I just did SemJay to abbreviate it. I can't believe I forgot that and you remembered it.
I have... The things my brain chooses to hold on to are usually a curiosity at best and not that useful most of the time. Oh my gosh, I started typing instead of firing a gun. Oh no.
Did you turn the bots off?
Oh,
or is this level just that huge?
They go away. This level is that huge, and the bots go away every level restart. Like, I've never figured out why, but this mod has this thing where if there's bots and then someone new joins, and there's 4 or more people already, it removes all the bots. It's very frustrating. I've never figured out a way to change that or change the low-end threshold limit, so there's always a player minimum that isn't 4. It is very weird. But as I advertised with the topic, speaking of the doggy jumbles, and SemJay, thank you for returning, because we didn't get to talk about it at all last time. The wide, great topic of service animals. Which is particularly good because...
It is a good topic.
I've lost count, in the best way possible, I've lost count how many furry convention charities are, it's very common for a shelter of some kind to be a target, especially for smaller conventions. They pick their local shelter, especially a smaller no-kill shelter that is more likely to struggle. But as you get more and more into bigger events, the opportunities to pair with different charities goes up, and there have been all sorts of service animal and related charities that many conventions have supported. So
that is true.
Yeah, I guess where to start? Well, I wanted to have you ask this because, I follow you on Twitter, so, all of the various informative or things that you call out, I get to see it, but that doesn't mean any of our viewers and listeners do. So, like, above all else, if you had to convey a message to the average person, or at least the average furry that's checking this out, what would you want them to know about service animals that you think they either might not know, or there's a very common misconception that either is not helpful at best or harmful at worst?
There's, like, off the top of my head, I can think of kind of three major things. One of them is that people seem to want to try and police service dogs. Like they think they know everything about them. But you know, even a lot of like, you know, seasoned service dog handlers don't know the laws specifically. So someone who just kind of like saw a service dog at a convention or met somebody with a service dog one time, chances are they don't know what it takes. I think the other thing that I would say is, let me see. I don't think people know the amount of work that goes into training a service dog. It's not like something you just decide to do one day. You know, trust me, I've met people who are like, oh yeah, they have their dog at home and their dog at home like behaves so well. And they're like, well, my dog could be a service dog because they behave well at home. And it's just a completely different ballgame. It is, like, I kind of compare it to, you know, college versus kindergarten. You know, a dog that behaves well in the house, it might be great for a kindergartner, but once you start actually putting dogs in real-world situations, in crowded areas, in places with loud noises, there's just so much room for error, and you gotta know what you're doing. Otherwise, not only are you risking your dog, you know, risking your dog's like sanity and like training, you risking other people in public too. So I guess that would be my main thing. And then the only other thing I can think of is there's a misconception that service dogs have some sort of like certification or ID. That is not the case. I have trained by myself two of my three service dogs, all by myself. With my most recent one, I've worked with a trainer. But that's not required. In the United States, it's totally okay to own or train. And the reason for that is it's more accessible to, you know, disabled people.
Yeah, I would definitely like to reiterate that. There is absolutely zero, you know, certification process in the United States at all. There is no legal documentation. There is no let me see your paperwork. That's not how it works at all. Either your dog does ADA approved service tasks for you and is a service dog or not. And that's really all there is to it.
For better or worse, because I know the convention I'm going to name can elicit a wide array of responses in people, but if anyone ever staffs Anthrocon and you go to the Thursday Anthrocon meeting, there are countless emails over this, and there is always an in-person reiteration on service animals, and it is so good. It's not perfect because just the nature of the thing is difficult.
It is.
But like from the base standpoint of every staff member, if you're at Anthrocon and a staff person is not handling the service animal part correctly, that means they were not reading or paying attention in the meetings.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, it is explicitly clear, like, we are given the list of questions you cannot ask. Either because, like, it's just straight up rude or an invasion of privacy. And then it's like, okay, well, let's say someone has come to you reporting a quote-unquote problem with an animal, because there are a lot of cry-bullies, as you kind of said, on the topic of service animals. And that staff meeting is so important to telling people, like, you have to respond because someone has essentially created an incident report just by saying something. But to the best of AC's ability, they're like, look, chances are it's going to be fine. And the main thing that, like, anyone has is does the animal seem to be under the person's control? And
Yes.
I have gotten many notices or comments of concern, and not once in all of my staffing have I had to tell someone they had to remove the animal. If there ever was an actual kind of issue, the person already knows, is aware, and is handling it, and it's just someone being overly aggressive with their animal policing. It's...
Yes.
Right. Like SemJay was saying with their first point, you know, like my very crass addition to your first point about people doing policing and stuff is mind your fucking business. is really the long and short of it. Like, if someone has a dog in a public place that you know isn't normal, it's probably for a reason, and they probably know what they're doing, and and just mind your fucking business.
Yeah, and people, I think there's also a misconception, like, because I've actually had people say this to me, is, oh, when, you bring a dog to a furry convention, you'd be stupid to think that people aren't going to try to pet it. And it's like, okay, like, I'm not bringing the dog here to entertain you guys. I'm bringing the dog here because it serves a very important medical purpose for me. And without the dog, I wouldn't be able to come to the convention at all.
And that, and then let's go to an even more fundamental thing. If you can ask before hugging a goddamn person or fursuiter, you can ask before petting a goddamn dog. Which you're supposed to do, because you never know. Just by seeing an animal, you don't know its temperament. You don't know what that animal has been through. You might not know if that animal is working, and you shouldn't go out of your way to distract it.
So I mentioned in the past, there has been some culture shock in Washington, and let me tell you, that is pretty standard out here. It was pretty shocking.
That people don't ask?
No, people will only ask, no matter what. People will not fucking touch your dog without asking. Like,
Good.
Including Jumbles, the nicest dog in the world. Yeah.
I feel like that's a really West Coast thing. It's just like, because when I lived in Arizona, I was I lived in Arizona, I went to California a lot, went to Washington a lot, and I just had better luck in those places than I did in the Midwest or even out east.
Yeah, it's definitely better on the West Coast. More accepted.
I think because it's more commonplace out there. I think it's more accepted out there. And just having dogs in public in general is a little bit more common. Even a lot of people have outdoor restaurants, and it's not uncommon to even see pet dogs there. It's just a little bit more dog friendly on that side of the country.
Yeah, it really is. And again, that was a pleasant culture shock for me that really is the case. If you have a fur baby you love more than life itself, move to the West Coast, because it's more accommodating.
If that's
really
not
is.
the best glowing endorsement.
It's true. I mean, again, I've traveled around, and, the West Coast is very dog friendly compared to the rest of the country.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite places in the world is Huntington Dog Beach. I know Huntington Beach has been in the news, but Huntington Dog Beach is freaking the coolest place I've ever been.
Yeah,
Where
there's
is
one. Yeah, where is
It's
that?
it's in SoCal. It's called Huntington Dog Beach. And there's a town called Huntington Beach that's been in the news a lot recently, and not for good reasons. But Huntington Dog Beach is its own little thing, and it's so awesome, and I can't wait to go there again.
Yeah, around here in Washington, there's a place called Marysville. No. Shit, no, I don't remember. Marysville's in Chicago. There's a dog park here that's really awesome. Several acres, a river runs through it. It's an off-leash dog park. There is literally around 100 dogs there at any given time. One of my favorite places in the entire country.
And that's good for other animal socialization too.
Oh yeah, and I tell people, when I meet people with puppies, go to the dog parks. It's great, And bringing it back to service animals, it's a great way to get some starting training on a puppy that you might want to do service training with. Get that familiarization, being out in public, being off leash but having to stay by you, all that kind of good stuff.
I'd push back on that, as dog parks are a little bit like, I don't trust them, and it's because I don't trust other dog owners. And I've seen people's dogs get, including one of my own pet dogs, get completely ruined after someone brought their aggressive dog to the dog park.
Oh, well, yeah, that's always a risk, unfortunately.
So, like, I would never bring my service dogs to a dog park just because of that risk. Because it could literally ruin my dog permanently. And it's like the same reason of like why I wouldn't take my dog into a warehouse with a lot of moving machinery or something like that. Like I'm just not. But Huntington Dog Beach it's a little bit more open, and if you don't want to have to interact with other dogs, you don't have to, and that's kind of like the reason I like that place a lot. It's the only dog park I'll go to. Well, it's more of a beach than a dog park.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, when you're talking about parks that size, and again, this one, I'm talking about Washington, is like that big too. Like, even the dogs are like, whoa, there's a lot of dogs here. You know what I mean? Like, and, it's even a bully dog, I think, steps back a little just because they're a little overwhelmed and like, well, I can't own this whole park. I'd have to
pee on everything.
Yeah, so... because you do make a good point, and I have noticed, it's worse at smaller parks, but when you got really big parks, it is a little better. Because Jumbo's got attacked once at a smaller dog park to the point that I had to like kick the dog and not fun stuff.
That happened with one of my dogs. My first pit bull got attacked. She was only 35 pounds. She got attacked by an 80-pound lab at a dog park.
Oh wow.
And got her butt kicked. And then the lady was like, oh, yeah, sorry, she really doesn't like other dogs. And I'm like, why would you have the dog at the dog park then? So, yeah, I'm like, and then she was never cool with other dogs after that. I mean, she was cool with other dogs, like our dogs, but, like, if we went out in public, she'd just, like, cry.
Oh,
and it was like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not putting my dogs through that.
I mean, you're right. It can be a very traumatic experience.
They can go on hikes with me instead, for sure. But
on the topic of training, because this was one of the times where one of the charities was doing service animal training. Like they were doing, I forget specifically for who it was, but there was some group that they were basically training animals for to then go into homes of people with PTSD or other things. Where, like, clearly the people could not do the animal training themselves. The animal had to, like...
Yeah.
They had to have the foundations down before they could meet a prospective person and then start to train with that person with the guidance of a trainer. So, like, that's the context of the charity. And they had an animal there, and, like, it was near parade time or something. This is years ago now. Long story short, I just kind of turn and notice, and I go, "Aw, little doggy." And I asked, like, "Oh, can I pet the dog?" Because I didn't see a vest or anything. And they're like, "Oh, no, sorry, he's working. He's in training." And, like, I got to talking with the person about it, and this was, like, his third time in general out on, like, a trial working session in crowds. You know, to train the dog to basically only focus on what you're supposed to focus on, ignore these other things, be chill in a crowd. And it was just really cool because then by the time, the parade or the panel or what have you, by the time people were all moving, it was cool to watch the trainer, give the various cues and refocus the dog's attention to turn it into an actual working session in the middle of the craziness that is a furry convention.
Oh, yeah. I love that about Ronnie. Ronnie, for you guys who don't know, was my service dog for like 8.5 years.
I know
he
Ronnie.
Yeah, he passed away last year, unfortunately. He gave it a good fight. He fought against mast cell cancer for 2 years, and he beat the odds time and time again. Like the last time I went to First Squared, which was like 2019, he actually spent that weekend in the hospital, and they were like, we don't know if he's going to make it through the night, and then like if he does make it through the night, he's not going to make it to the end of March. And then he ended up making it all the way to October. So he he was awesome. And he was like, I always have to remind myself that my current service dog is not Ronnie, because that dog was like 1 in a million dog. And when we'd go into public, like especially furry cons, people would be trying to talk to him. And they'd be like, oh, Ronnie's such a good boy, and like whatever. Or, hey there, buddy, and they'd get down like right in his face.
Ooh,
and then he would just he would just frickin' ignore them.
Yeah.
Like he would just turn his head. I mean, like if you gave that dog a release word and like, he wasn't working anymore, that dog was the friendliest damn dog in the entire world. Like you couldn't get him to leave you alone. But when he was working, he was serious business. And if people tried to talk to him, he would just completely ignore them. And people are like, oh, he's really antisocial, isn't he? And I'm like, no, he's professional.
Did you get him? Yeah, right?
Oh, I love that.
Oh.
Yeah,
Did
and
you have him
is
as
a
a
good
puppy?
hallmark.
I had Ronnie when he was 18 hours old.
Oh.
He was handheld. He was like, it looked like a little hamster. He was an orphaned puppy, and it's really funny because he was one of my foster dogs, and he was a nightmare as a puppy, and I could not wait to get rid of him. And I, every day we'd be like, bye, Ronnie, 2 more weeks,
No.
And then we tried to adopt him out, and the owners of like this one family that we tried to adopt him out to, the family's other dog bit him in the head when he was like 7 weeks old. And he didn't care. He was like, whatever. And they decided not to adopt him, obviously. And I said, you know what, let's hold off on adoptions for now because I don't have the emotional energy to deal with it right now. And then all of a sudden this dog started just becoming like from the world's worst puppy to like the world's best dog. And we started, like my first service dog, Annie, who was a corgi, she was getting ready to retire. And we started to see some potential with Ronnie. And thank God we kept him because that dog saved my life time and time again.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know how much you remember, but it was, I can't tell you how early it was in terms of Ronnie being able to work and go to conventions, because there was an MFF Who's line from, I gotta say, like, I think this was the first time I ever wore, like, I had the first Doom Imp suit.
Oh,
and
yeah! Didn't he not like it?
Ronnie thought, I don't know what he thought, but he was like, because he had met me before, even that weekend.
I remember this now.
And then, like, I normally don't ever do this, like, unless I have to, but, like, I took off the mask and let him check me out, and from then on, like, he went back to work mode. He did not care that a weird eye-reflective lizard or demon thing was walking down, but, like...
I remember that, and then, like, towards the end of his career, he didn't care about any of your costumes at all.
No! It was kind of as you said, like, work mode. I am a professional.
Yeah.
I can't help but wonder, because, like, the way that costume had to get put together had a lot of weird dyes and paints going into it, and the nature of the material, it didn't hold. Like, paint would fleck off and everything, so I wonder if there was just a really bad smell or scent that was on it that was, like, a warning sign. Because every subsequent suit I had was not like the first one. radically different dyes, radically different like materials and components to them.
Do you remember you had a similar one-off instance with Jumbles?
I don't. What happened with which costume was it?
It wasn't really a costume. Well, it was Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
To our apartment, and she was like, what the fuck is that? Because you had your a full like motorcycle helmet on, doing the safety thing, and like you came in and she was like, there is an alien in the house. What the fuck?
Oh. And then I took the helmet off, and then I took the mask off, and the level of the switch getting flipped with that dog.
Yeah. That's so. I wonder what was up with them.
Or it's
like for Jumbles, it kind of made sense because it really was something she hadn't really dealt with before.
And
but
she must have been able to smell that it was me, right?
You would think.
Like, was she confused that I know this smell? This looks very, very wrong.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just the mismatch of sensory information.
It's kind of like all those creepy videos. I fall into bird YouTube regularly. It's terrible. And the number of times I've seen a video that's labeled like spooky bird or something like that, and it's a goddamn magpie doing cute childlike laughter at someone's window. And if you didn't know that was happening, you would think the place is friggin' haunted.
I mean, like Ronnie he was okay with most fursuits. The only other than your suit, the only other ones I can think of that he just really didn't enjoy. Like he was like, professional and everything, but you could tell he just was like, I don't like this. Or fuck this one in particular. And the other one was, I don't know if you guys have seen, I'm sure you've seen it, that costume, the Drama Llama.
Yeah.
He did not like the Drama Llama. And then the other one that he didn't like wasn't a fursuit. It was, we went to Universal Studios, and he, after interacting with every other freaking costume there that day, he saw SpongeBob SquarePants come around the corner, and he was not having any of it. He was like, we need to get out of here immediately.
This is wrong.
Are not square.
Yeah. I mean, like, we were literally, like, Frankenstein was literally petting him, and, like, he was, like, wiggling, and he was all happy, and then SpongeBob comes walking around the corner, and he's like, that's it, we're done.
Yeah, see, that's so weird to me, because, again, like, a dog that just literally goes to furry conventions all the time, and yet, these couple of ones just, for some reason...
I mean, to be fair, both of those, or all of those incidents were, like, super early in his career. He may have just been going through, like, a final fear stage or something like that. Because he never had issues with any costume ever after that.
Just trying to figure it out, like, maybe this is part of my job,
He's just like, another one of these.
Yeah. But, like, he didn't know if he was supposed to accept them all or if he was, like, filtering them for you. Maybe... It's a job, he didn't know.
Is this a threat?
Human, is this part of my job? You have to tell me.
Yeah. It's really funny because one of his jobs was to put himself between me and like something potentially like triggering. And one time he went between me and my mother-in-law. And she's just like, oh, Ronnie wants to get in on this hug too, because she went to hug me, like, goodbye.
Oh, no.
And then Ronnie stood between me and her, and I was just like, oh my god, did he just block me from her? And I still laugh about that to this day.
Was it a stressful day? Because he was probably sensing it.
It always is.
Yeah, right.
It always is. That's all I'll say. It always is.
Has Jumbles given you any comedic responses?
Oh, I mean, every now and then, but I didn't train her to do that. In retrospect, maybe I should have. As much as Ronnie was such a professional, the fact is, the older Jumbles gets, the less of a professional she is.
Yes! Oh my god! What is with that? Like he started okay, you know how like old people get like old and then they just start like stealing shit from stores? That was Ronnie. He would just like, we'd be in like PetSmart and he'd just take something off the shelf. Like, what the hell? Like, I don't know if you guys ever used to watch Jackass.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know how Johnny Knoxville would like dress up as like the old man?
Yeah.
His name was Irving Zisman.
Yes.
And he would steal stuff from the store, and they'd be like trying to kick him out, and he'd still be stealing stuff on his way out. And he'd be like, "I fought for your freedoms," and stuff like that. That was Ronnie. Every time he did that, we'd go, "Okay, Irving," because it was just every time. And it was only like the last year of his career.
He's like, "I've earned this. This is mine."
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I fought for your freedoms. And then when he was going in for cancer treatment, every single time that dog would go in for cancer treatment, he would try to steal food from the vet techs. like one time they were doing radiation oncology with him, which is like radiation therapy on a tumor. They knock him out for it. He was on the table, woke up wagging his tail after they were done. Jumped off the table and went immediately and tried to eat one of the tech's lunches.
He may have been knocked out, but that sniffer had zeroed in on the precise location of that sandwich.
Oh my god! Yeah,
he had the munchies,
he tried to steal their like Girl Scout cookies. He tried to steal like he loved eating paper for some reason, so he would always try to steal like notebooks and stuff like that. He got weird with it at the end.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that though.
With Jumbles, it's the approaching other people and stuff, and being lovey. She's gotten to the point where she's like, "Look, man, I can tell if this person's the dog person, and if it's a dog person, I'm saying hi." Like I can't, And she's so good at it too, because if it's not a dog person, again, she'll be like the perfect service dog and totally ignore them and right by. But if it's like, no, this is a dog person, and they'll say hi to me, like, yeah, it's like I can't not let her anymore. She just doesn't listen.
Yeah, and we actually, my current service dog is a golden retriever, and his name's Benny, and he absolutely loves everybody because he's a golden retriever.
Right. Yes, of course.
And he actually had to spend a week at service dog boot camp, basically. Like we just picked him up yesterday because we were having such a problem with that, with him just kind of like unsolicitedly. He would basically, what he would do is he would just go up to people who weren't even looking at him, and he'd just be like, "Hi, I'm Benny. How are you doing?"
Oh yeah, that's too much. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were like, all right. And the worst part about it is I've got like mobility problems, so he helps with mobility issues. And like sometimes I have an over-the-shoulder leash for him, and then he would end up just all of a sudden seeing somebody and then pulling to the end of the leash and like yanking my shoulder, and I'm like, "That's it. My trainer's name is Quinn." And we're like, "That's it. You're going to Uncle Quinn's house."
Yeah, that's real bad, especially doing mobility stuff.
Exactly. So, but they worked on it, and it looks like he's got a good. From what I've seen, he's already much better at it. So, it was. I blame the pandemic for not getting out and practicing. So I feel like he's just a little bit rusty right now.
Yeah, for service dog or not, everyone remember the pandemic's affecting your pets as much as it's affecting. They do. If anything, it's affecting them more because they don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Why are all these humans wearing muzzles?
Yeah, and everyone's staying so far away, and we're not having all the fun we used to have for no reason. Like, what's going on? So
I will say that the pandemic was nice because that was Ronnie's last year, and all three of us in this house were all working from home. So we got to
Aw.
spend basically like every day with him last year, which was awesome. So
that's great.
and he loved that. So
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
especially, happy dogs like that, Master's staying home all day, every day. This is amazing.
this is the best.
I feel bad for all the people that are going to have to deal with their pet's first round of separation anxiety.
That's
Oh, I
true,
know.
too.
Like anybody who has pets that's like in the sound of like within the sound of my voice right now, please start practicing with separation anxiety stuff. Like leave your pet alone, go, just go outside or just get in your car and drive around the block with your dog, just so they get used, get in the car without the dog. Leave them at home, just drive around the block, come back, just get them used to people not being home all the time.
That's true, especially if like you got a new pet during the pandemic. Because if you've never experienced severe separation anxiety from an animal, it really is like one of the worst issues you can have with a pet. It's
really is.
so fucking horrible. You'll feel so guilty all the time, and there's really nothing you can do once it sets in. It really sucks. So if you have any doubts at all that your dog might have those issues, I definitely agree with SemJay. Practice makes perfect. You can start now. It's typical dog training stuff. 30 minutes out of your day, and it's not even anything difficult to do. You just got to do it at least a few times a week.
Yeah.
So very, very good points. Because separation anxiety on dogs is just the fucking worst.
Yeah, we've had dogs like my parents' old dog had really bad separation anxiety and fear of thunderstorms. And one time, my parents weren't home, and there was a thunderstorm, so it was like worlds colliding.
Right.
And she actually busted out the window, broke the window, getting out of the house.
Oh my god, poor dog.
Yeah.
And
I
again,
know.
I'm not even surprised to hear that. Like, that's how bad it gets. Like,
Yeah.
it's so bad.
Yeah, and honestly, crate training your dogs is the best thing in the entire world. It's not mean, it's awesome, and it'll save their lives.
Well, especially when you do it right, because, Xargoz, between the two of us, how many people did we know that used the crate as punishment and not as a safe space?
Yeah.
Like, And then you look at the households, and you look at, your friends of those households, and you go, oh, this explains things.
Ha!
Well,
That was
seriously,
the
like
saddest realization I have heard in a while. Did all the bots go away again? They did. Damn it. Yeah. The crate should be the safe space. There is, I don't know if you remember Xargoz, Dan Conley. They were one of the few good ones. And they had a very, not even a service dog, just a rescue dog that had a very, very upsetting background. We'll leave it at that. And the one place where that dog was fine, the crate was her safe place. So, even though, we've got the animal magnetism trait, that dog would come and give my hand a sniff, and then that was too much, and back to the crate. And it was, it was the best thing for that animal because, as long as you were in that household and everyone adhered to the rules, the dog wasn't a shivering, trembling mess when in the crate. And when she felt brave enough and wanted to go check things out, she would leave on her own.
Yeah, we've got a dog that's kind of an introvert in this house. I have 5 dogs, and the 4 of them are like super outgoing, love everybody. And then I have a 5th one who's just kind of like, the world is scary and I don't like you. And, you know, as long as she's in her house or in the car, she's, you know, the happiest, cuddliest dog in the world. But if someone comes up to the car, like if we're at Portillo's and like we're ordering and like the person comes up to the door, you know, or up to the window to take our order, she does not like that.
Aww.
And she's tiny, but boy is she loud. And she'll bark at them. I always say, like, you know, with Shakespeare, you know, and As You Like It, she may be but little, but she is fierce. That is her. She's a pit bull chihuahua mix, and she's only about 29 pounds. And she's like so petite too. Like she almost has like the body of like a whippet. It's so cute. She's such a sweet dog, but she likes her circle of friends, and that's about it. I think we can all relate to that.
Yeah,
though.
I was gonna say, sounds like the Discord, you know.
Mm.
I have met many whippets now, and I guess they are as close to real life cartoon dogs as I have ever met.
They really are.
Someone I know through Nazcrag, I follow them on Twitter, Tom Lommel. You might have, depending on who you are, seen some of the D&D related sketch stuff he's done. I know he's gotten more acting gigs over the past several years, which is good. But he has an ongoing thread of their dogs, and the original post of the thread is, "I regret to inform you we have been tricked into adopting a living cartoon." And it's a whippet with, like, the eyes damn near bulging out, going in different directions with a full-on tongue hanging out blep.
That is adorable.
And then the thread commonly gets updated with "Good boys logged off for the evening." And it's always a picture of them on a couch or on one of their beds, like one of their dog beds, except saying they're on the bed is an over-exaggeration. Maybe half of them is on. Because they're just laying there, you know, in what... If I were a human laying in a bed like that, my neck and back would scream bloody murder at me, but, you know...
Oh, I know! Like, they sleep in the most, like, uncomfortable-looking positions.
I think when a dog goes to sleep, their bones turn to jelly.
I would agree with that theory.
Well, I think dogs are just comfortologists. You know,
Uh-huh!
they're doing important research.
We have a puppy right now who's enormous, but he's not even 6 months old, and he's already like 50-something pounds.
Is this, let's see if I can say it right, Atticos? I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's Atticus, just like the, you know, like Atticus Finch.
Oh, okay.
But it's spelled like the original like Greek spelling of the name, which just means from Attica, and Attica just means the rugged coast. So his name like literally just means the rugged from the rugged coast.
That's cool.
But we have a rule in our family that all the dogs have double letter names. So you'll notice all of my dogs we have Ferris, Dazzle, Hazel, which we spell differently, Benny, and Atticus. They're all double letters, and Ronnie too.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
You know, that just what used to be, we used to have Annie and Copa, and those were both double letters. And then when we got Ronnie, we were like, well, we got to pick one that's also a double letter. And then it just kind of kept happening. But I'm starting to run out of names, so I have to kind of make them up.
Well, that's an even better way to do it.
Yeah.
What is it? Once is happenstance, twice is coincidence, 3 times is enemy action?
Or a pattern, but yeah. You know.
I believe that, I don't know if it was said by, I think it was by the James Bond author. I don't know if he invented it or not, or just popularized it.
I don't know. You have to look up the etymology.
Oh, what I was saying about the puppy is that he like I said, he's already like 50 pounds, but I don't think he realizes he's that big already. I mean, I can't blame him because like he went from like 10 pounds to 50 pounds in like 4 months. And he just will try to sleep in the same small bed. But he just kind of like spills out of it. So he looks like melted ice cream, like just spilling out of the top of a cone. It's ridiculous.
When Jumbles was a puppy, she would lay under, the love seat that I had. That was her Narnia, we called it. And then one day she didn't fit under there anymore. And I've never seen a dog so mad at a piece of furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah, just barking at it. Yeah, like trying to get under, barking, scratching, really frustrated.
Oh no.
So sad.
Jumbles never really got over becoming a big dog.
Aw.
Neither did Ronnie. Ronnie just thought he was a small dog.
Yeah.
And he like if he saw other big dogs, he was like, whatever. But if he saw small dogs, he was like, we need to play immediately.
Yep, at dog parks, Jumbles always hangs out with like the 30 to 50 pound dogs when she's 70 pounds.
The smaller the dog, the better for Ronnie. Like he met like this like 1 pound Yorkie like that my cousin owns, and they became like instant best friends. It's the funniest thing. He loves small animals just in general. Like we found like a baby chipmunk, and he became Mom. We used to call him Mr. Mom. So yeah, he just loved anything tiny. Big dogs,
like tiny things, but she is very rough with them.
Oh no, he was so gentle. It was ridiculous.
Jumbles, did you hear the latest of where Ember hides now?
No.
So, my parents' dog, Ember, is a golden retriever, and she's special.
Ember.
Yes, Ember is special. Very, very good murderer. She has quite the kill count. But outside of that, everything scares this dog. Especially storms. And for whatever reason, especially as she gets older, but it was kind of always a thing, she would start acting weird. You know how you always say, like, the dogs can sense pressure changes or storms coming in generally before people? Oh.
Yeah, we had a dog that, like, it would look like perfectly sunny outside, and we'd be like, and the weather would say, hey, it's going to be nice and clear and sunny all day. And then that dog would start pacing, and you're like, oh, I guess it's going to rain. And 100% of the time, it would rain. Yeah. He was more accurate than any weatherman.
So, Ember has, we'll call it a superpower. We'll be nice.
Yeah, I think that's
to the point where, like, our mom has to drug her all the time, like doggy Xanax or something, just because, like, she's suffering when she's panicking. Yeah. It's terrible. You feel bad for the animal, but occasionally something. I mean, we laugh at it because the alternative is you're sad about it. Mom couldn't find the damn dog. Looking up and down all over the house. Where's the dog? Looking in every possible hiding spot. All these weird areas where normally she doesn't go, but occasionally has previously been found there. And then there's one area that they had never checked before and go, I wonder. And the setup in the living room, it's a weird setup, but the TV entertainment center, it's very easy to get behind it, but there's not a lot of space, and there's a ton of wires and everything. And so what do they find? Carefully nestled in between all of the sets of wires, she is laying there with her butt facing out, so like she's facing the wall. It's like you sent the dog to the corner, just laying there and panting behind the TV.
Oh, that's so sad.
And so I'd heard about this, and then it's weeks later, I'm visiting for some reason or another, and then we're going out to pick up food from somewhere, so the three of us get in the car, and we come back, and there's no dog greeting. And so the first thing I do is like, how much you want to bet she's behind the TV again? Because it had, heaven forbid, it had gotten cloudy and it was supposed to drizzle. Not even rain, just drizzle.
Yeah.
And
Just
there
a
she is.
barometric pressure. Yeah.
Yeah. And there she is, just looking like an adorable doofus, having a panic attack behind the TV.
Oh. Poor baby.
Yes, that is... It is unfortunate. But, as Xargoz says...
That was like...
Oh, go ahead.
I told you about like I said about the dog that was better than any weatherman.
Oh, yeah.
He was he was a corgi.
Oh.
And my mom, yeah, and he was my first corgi. He was actually my first dog ever. Like one time my mom was cleaning out the cabinets and it was about to rain. And my mom like went into the other room like to go to the bathroom, and she came back and he had wedged himself in the cabinets. And it was like this cabinet that he wedged himself in was like the perfect like corgi size. Like it was long and skinny, and he just fit perfectly in there. And my mom was just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, that's where the corgi goes. Corgi.
Yeah, it's just a corgi cabinet. That's what it is. That was Mr. Stubbs. That was his name.
Xargoz,
he came with that name.
Weren't you at one point considering adopting a corgi, and then we're all like, you're gonna have 2 herding dogs in your house?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
I feel like at one point the topic came up like, you're gonna have 2 herding dogs, and you just had this pause of consideration. Because Jumbles is half Australian Shepherd and
half Bernese Mountain Dog.
Yeah.
And all good girl.
Yeah,
I agree with
we've had mostly herding dogs and pit bulls. That's like been mostly what we had. I like actively go out of my way to like discourage people from getting corgis because I don't think most people know what they're getting into.
Oh,
they're very
lots of
smart.
Personality in a small package.
Yes. Like they just see them on Instagram or like on Cowboy Bebop and they're like, "Oh my god, I want a corgi." And it's like, you
not
really
a house dog.
don't. Yeah. I love them. Like, I'll have a million of them, but you kind of really need to be knowing what you're doing.
I have had so many ankle boops from corgis checking in on the herd when I am visiting those households.
That sounds
And
about right.
Foxen is saying corgi. Greyhounds are best dogs, so derp. Corgis are assholes.
They really are. Like, that's what I say. I'm like, if you want an asshole dog, then, get a corgi. But, I mean, you got to know what you're doing with them because they're freaking pain in the ass.
Yeah, and any high energy dog, like a herding dog,
Yeah.
if you're not getting that energy out, it's gonna come out in bad ways.
It's kind of like a parrot at that point. There is enough energy and brain power where, yeah,
you gotta be
it
smarter
will
than
express itself no matter what. And if you don't guide that expression, woe be unto you.
Yeah, you got a problem on your hands. That's why, like, I used to work in an animal hospital, like, for, 10 years. And people always used to say, "Oh, I love your corgis. I hate other people's corgis," because they'd come in and they were just freaking a nightmare. I was, like, the only one that could do corgi nail trims because, like, they're so particular. But, yeah, mine were always super chill. Well, not always, but... Like, my first service dog was Annie. Annie was a corgi. And she was, like, the anti-corgi. I mean, she didn't like her nails done, but, like, she just was... I don't know. I loved her. She was a cool dog, but, man, she was still kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah, she was...
Yeah,
So-
I probably won't get another herding dog, at least not next time. I'm probably going to get more of a giant breed.
What are you thinking?
Or Rottweiler mix always goes to the top. you know, a Rottweiler Bernese Mountain Dog mix would probably be amazing, but you know, you can't really be that particular.
Yeah.
My 80-year-old great aunt has a Rottweiler. That's what she gets. She's like this little tiny 80-year-old lady, and she always has Rottweilers.
Well, yeah, it's perfect. Rottweilers
Yeah.
are some dog. They get such a bad rap.
They do.
It's really
Well,
not fair.
I have pit bulls and Chihuahua mixes, so you don't even have to.
Yeah.
You don't even have to tell me about dogs with bad raps.
The only dog that growing up, a friend's family dog was big old Rottweiler, and like they had a lot of little kids, and like this dog was full on guardian, and like
Yeah.
if you acted fearful of the dog got anxious that you were gonna do something stupid. So like it was
It makes-
always this catch-22 that we're these small little fucking middle schoolers. And so I had heard that, you know, I was newer to the group, so I had heard from someone else that like, oh, you gotta watch out for this dog. And I'm like, what do you mean? Treat the dog right, and you'll probably be fine. And the other problem was the dog was old and had really bad hip dysplasia. So like the dog's mood certainly could be swayed by how much in pain was it, and does it have to deal with like, okay, I'm watching the kids, don't make me get up, you're acting weird and you're making me get up, I do not like this. But like, so, and oh, that dog had a bark that would startle you, let's be clear. But like, I let the dog sniff me and check me out, you know, I wouldn't do anything to agitate it. I would introduce myself, you know, in the context of the owner, and then, oh, the dog had, you know, another 50 pounds on me, and I then became one of the pack.
Yeah.
There was when I took Blaze, our last family dog, to agility. We did agility training. There was a Rottweiler in our class, and the way the building was set up, while you sat and waited for your turn, you could see most of all the stuff, but if you went on the very far end of, you know, the like warehouse where the classes were, you couldn't see from where you were sitting. So this Rottweiler just loved Blaze, and I mean this in a very literal way.
Oh my goodness!
Because yeah, if Blaze went around that corner and was out of sight, he would let off the biggest fucking Rottweiler barks. Woo, woo, you know, like just really getting into it until she came back round, and then he'd be fine and happy. And if she went out of sight, big old bark. And yeah, you know, he was never violent, like the biggest teddy bear you'd ever meet, but like he had to watch her. He had to see where she was. It was his girlfriend.
Oh, one of the times I went, she was such an asshole to him. So one of the training things they were doing was, and it sounds a little bit mean, and like it's teaching control, but goddamn, that's got to be frustrating for the dog. So they're doing the do not eat the treat except on command. And one of the exercises for that was the dog lays down and you put a treat on top of each paw.
Oh, we do this all the time in my house.
Oh, yeah. So
it's
this
good
big old dog,
control.
this Rottweiler, is perfect. The treats are on each of his paws. He's looking at them. He's looking around. And he's not doing it. And Blaze was doing it. And she got the command word to release and eat the treat. So she did. Then she gets up and goes to check out her friend, walks over, and eats the treat off of each paw.
No!
I mean, I guarantee you learned that from experience because someone did that to her first. Like, dogs would do that to her all the time because she was so good about that.
I bet you if we did that with Benny and my dogs, Benny would just let them eat the treats off his hand because I don't know if Draggor can elaborate on this because of their family's golden retrievers. But Benny doesn't like to eat at all. He just hates food. He'll eat as much as it takes to sustain life, and that is it. He is not treat motivated. If he gets a cup of food twice a day, and if you give him a cup and a fourth, he will leave exactly 1/4.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is
I've never had a
is
dog.
that like a golden thing, or is that like just my dog's weird?
That's the opposite of a golden thing.
That's what I
Them
thought.
are fucking garbage disposals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ember is certainly, like, she is treat motivated, but, like, her food or food she does not like, the dog has neuroses. I would not call her a garbage disposal at all, but she clearly knows where the good shit is and will nudge your hand and bark at you and then bark in front of the pantry where they are while having a full bowl of food. Like,
I mean, Blaze, our
He-
last golden retriever, she ate a Twinkie in the wrapper.
oh my god.
That sounds like Ronnie. Ronnie would totally do that. Yeah, Ronnie was like the opposite. He would eat everything, like paper, like silicone, like plastic.
Oh yeah.
It didn't matter. He didn't care. He'd eat it. But yeah, no, like Benny is like so like food averse.
That's
And
really weird.
I thought it was like, you know, he just didn't like the food. But it's not. Because we've tried other foods. Like you can give him like straight up like wet food or like raw meat and he still won't eat it. He's just so not food motivated at all.
That's
like I
really
said-
bizarre, especially for a golden. Like
I
extra
know.
for a golden.
And he's totally healthy. You know, we had him checked out and everything like that. But I mean, if that dog doesn't eat for a day, like it's like that's just normal for him. But my other dogs like in and finish his food when he doesn't eat it. We feed them all in their crates.
Have
Oh,
you...
and
And
like-
then if
Jumbles used to not always finish her food, and she'd like leave it for later and pick at it and stuff. But once we started having other dogs over that, you know, would eat that food if she left it there, you know, that kind of put an end to that. You know what I mean? So again, the fact that the dog like knows that other dogs are eating its food and really just doesn't give a fuck. It's like it's just so
no, he like it's literally every day. He like will leave some food. And then, like, my one dog, Hazel, my introvert, she knows that he's probably leaving food. And she'll just immediately rush into his crate after we're done feeding everybody and just finish off whatever's left.
Oh my
I
god.
don't get it.
Headfoxen in the chat says, had a dog that would eat empty beer cans and would find flecks
my
of
God.
aluminum in their poo. Okay, well, I hate this level, and we're a little over an hour in, so I do believe it is time for Instagib.
Oh, I guess. I had some good runs there, so
You did. You
Yeah,
fragged
you
me
were
in the
performance.
face several times. Did I just crash my server?
you are standing there. I just killed you. The server's not down. Like I'm fucking getting response. Oh,
Oh, there we go.
It should be changing the level now.
Yeah.
Except
yeah,
it
just
did not
changed
do the
some
game
people's
type.
shit. Well, I can't help you with that one.
Let's try one more time. App QCME01. There we go. Ah, yes. Jumpy bullshit. And I get fragged by a Soylent Yeen. What?
Blaze ate that Twinkie in the raptor. That's
The whole thing.
yeah. Oh yeah. And then the next day there was just a wrapper in the poop.
Yep.
Yeah, that was Ronnie. Like, you know where I used to work. Silicone was a part of
Yes.
the job, and there is a little bit of flashing, which is like leftover silicone, like little tiny pieces of it. And that dog, I would never see him eat it, but I would always see it come out in his poop, and he'd be like pooping rainbows. And I don't know why. I don't know why he would try to eat that all the time.
We would see smiling Lego faces in the poop.
Yep.
And
Yeah, that was always pretty good.
oh, yeah, this was Blaze. Did you ever have a dog that was a lickaholic for sun lotion?
Oh my god.
Fucking anything on your skin.
But
That's kinda
especially sun lotion.
hazel.
Like if you were putting it on, she would run over sprinting to like try and lick it, either if it dripped on the floor or was on you. Like, better than any treat.
That's how Hazel is with any kind of lotion, or like if you put makeup on. Like, she just like will immediately gravitate towards you, and then just be like, "Oh, I need to lick that off your face now," or "I need to lick that off your hands now."
You got new flavors on you for me? That's so nice of you. Let me taste it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and they do that with like if like one of the dogs has a skin infection or something, and then like you put lotion, you put like an antibiotic cream on it, they have to lick the antibiotic cream off. So we actually have to keep. It's not the dogs. It's not the dog that has it that's licking. It's the other dogs that are trying to lick the other dog. So we have to put them away. We have to put the other 4 away. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, Blaze's other habit that was really funny was she would take money and like run away with it.
Yeah.
Like, the money. And
Yeah,
she-
my dogs do that too, but it's via care credit and vet bills.
Yeah, I know. If you like just took like a $20 bill out of your pocket and held it in front of her, she'd take it in her mouth and run away. And she wouldn't eat it; she'd just like hold it and run away with it. Yeah, she'd feel like
That was the other thing too. That like Ronnie, like I said, he loved paper, and if you like held up a chicken nugget and then like a napkin, he would take the napkin every time. Like what?
Chick's good, but paper.
Yeah, paper. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Our dogs do weird stuff.
Oh yeah.
Has
Draggor,
there
did
been
you
like
hear
a
that?
trait where in training for the service animal aspect where you're like, I don't think I can train this one out. This is just the personality.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, like I've had 2 dogs that have washed out, which is like a term that we used for basically they failed service dog training.
Right.
And some of the, a lot of it's like personality related, like, even a dog that starts out promising, like sometimes they can just have like one bad experience and then like that's it. Like they don't want to work anymore.
Oh.
And-
Yep.
I mean, that definitely happens. Like, it is definitely valid for people to train their own service dogs, but the problem is sometimes is that people don't realize that, or people don't have the heart to accept that their dog's not a candidate.
Yeah,
for
like there's
a
no
service
guarantee for any animal you have that it's gonna work.
Like, you can go through 2 years of training, and all of a sudden they're just like they create this, like they have this just personality problem, or they get like a health problem or something, and you have to go, well, all that, the last 2 years are all for naught, basically. Well, I mean, basically you have a pet, you just have a really well trained pet at that point. But yeah, sometimes it's just you gotta accept that it just doesn't always work out. Like, it doesn't matter how much work you put into it or how much you want it to happen. Some dogs just won't work out.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I am actually a pretty big advocate for training your own service dog. Obviously to completion.
Yeah.
Only just because you are allowed to, and I'd like to remove any stigma from it. And again,
Oh, yeah, me
not
too.
everyone has the insurance to get, a $10,000 service dog. And again,
Oh, for sure.
a lot of people don't even realize, like, yeah, if you're good with animals, you could just buy a dog and train it yourself. But yes, you do run the risk of, well, if the dog isn't gonna do it, it isn't gonna do it. Like, yeah, there's
and then you have to accept, like, can I afford to have more than one dog? Am I going to have to rehome this dog and, to get another dog to train as a service dog? Like, you kind of have to take that all into account.
Yeah, that is a big truth.
And that, what, and I would like to mention that just because a dog is from a program doesn't mean that they're going to work out either. you can do everything right, and a dog could still wash out at age 3 because of a bad experience, or because it develops like some sort of weird personality quirk.
Yeah.
There's no guarantees.
I mean,
really quick,
an
I'm going to move us
interesting-
over to the full group to ride out
well,
the rest
here
of
you'll like this one bit that's somewhat related. So, like I mentioned, I did agility shading with Blaze,
Yeah.
and she was very good at it.
Oh,
Most
that hurt.
most dogs are not allowed to really do agility training to like the year old, because it's usually like, well, before they're a year, you really got to focus on obedience, because they won't have the obedience to stay focused in the class.
And they can't do jumps until 24 months. Just
Well, yeah.
because.
You have to lower the
Yeah,
jump.
you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to screw up their joints, because basically puppies are just rubber and magic. And like if you look at like an X-ray of a puppy, like it's borderline terrifying, because like none of their bones are connected, and but yeah, you want to wait until they're at least 24 months done growing before you start doing the jumping parts of agility.
Right.
But the other
Yeah.
stuff is fine before then.
Yeah, and in that you are right. And before she was 2 years, she did jump down at a lower. So she still did the jumps, but yeah, they put it like really low, like a
Yeah.
an inch jump or something like that.
Yeah.
And so as I was saying though, so she started at 6 months and never had a problem. She never got kicked out of a class. Like the first time she saw a set of weave poles and like it was our turn to go up and do it, she did it on the first try.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's like fucking unheard of. Like she just did it herself. So amazing dog at agility, right? So the first time she did the teeter-totter obstacle, this was, probably closer to like 2 years in. It banged the ground really loud, and it
Oh yeah.
hit out of her. She never did it again, the teeter-totter, ever. She was the best agility dog I've ever seen in my life, and then after that day, ever be competitive again, because she just refused to do the teeter-totter, and she would never do it. We
That's
tried
all
to
it
try
takes.
her with a McDonald's cheeseburger, with ice cream, with everything
the
and everything.
whole room
Never
basically
mattered.
stopped to like cheer on this dog to try and help her come over a phobia. And like she could tell that, people wanted her to do the thing in like a good way. They're like, "Oh, everyone likes me. Yay, yay, yay. Ah, teeter."
But that one time the thing happened, and that's it.
Yep, and it never changed. So yeah, it's a very good analogy to that. Same thing can happen with a service dog, and you never know. In the end, they are still dogs, and they are still fallible beings like us.
All right,
Or
I'm going to move us
some idiot-
over,
or
and
some-
then I'm going to share a Blaze and Mom story.
Uh-oh. Yeah, and then
Let's
another thing
do-
too is
That. Why can't I move you? There we
You're
go.
Yeah,
All
like
right.
you were saying.
Okay, now everyone's here. Now there's suddenly voices.
But yeah, the A-frame.
I didn't want to
There
talk
was,
at all.
she, like, for whatever reason, stopped. How tall would you say the A-frame was, Xargoz?
like 6 feet.
6 feet?
5 or 6 at its peak. I don't know. I was growing, so it's hard to say.
Same. Yeah, it was
Who is
taller
this
than me.
mysterious Hendrix figure?
They've been here. They've been in a whole bunch.
Has someone
they're
been
good.
dominating in my stead while I was gone? Also, I'm back, by the way.
But, yeah, so normally she would do the A-frame just fine. And then, stopped at the top of it. Don't know why. And so her mom went to the other side to, like, call her down. And instead of running down, she, like, took 2 steps down the edge and then jumped. And jumped with her golden retriever doggy skull going right into my mom's forehead.
Oh no.
And my mom saw stars and like briefly blacked out. Like she was crouched down trying to get the dog to go on the A-frame. Bam! Saw stars, and then she was on the flat of her back on the floor with the dog and the other, the trainers looking over going, "Are you okay?"
Oh my god.
So what was the lead up to this punchline? Everyone just kind of jumped in midway.
We were talking about agility stories with a dog.
Oh, we were also talking about like washing dogs, like from service dog work and stuff like that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's been a dog day.
It's been a dog of a night.
I had my first pit bull. I was, we were just cuddling on the bed and whatever, and then my doorbell rang, and that big fat pit bull head hit me right in the nose. Same thing, blacked out momentarily, saw stars.
Oh.
I thought she broke my nose. Thankfully, she didn't. But I didn't. Yeah. So now I'm like super cautious when I'm like anywhere near one of my dog's heads. I'm like,
Honestly, like, I joke about it a lot, but the most dangerous place a human ever could be is having their head near a dog's head when the dog sneezes.
Oh,
Because they wind up and put their full fucking body force into it. And I got a goddamn black eye because Blaze, without warning, just body convulsed sneezed and smacked her head into mine.
Yeah.
Stubbs did that, like my corgi, the one that fit in the cabinet. He would sneeze, and he would, like, because he was so short to the ground, his nose would hit the tile, and then his nose would just start bleeding everywhere.
Oh no!
And we'd be like, dude, don't sneeze on the tile, sneeze on the carpets.
That's rough.
Every time.
That's vicious.
Corgi problems.
Yeah, hashtag corgi problems.
Yeah.
Am
That's
I
a map name, by the way.
My
No,
thing is
you're
going
fine.
up when you guys talk. Okay.
You're fine. You're talking on your own stream. There's no echo on your end. Yeah.
Okay.
But,
Corgi problems are problems of the corgi variety.
but yeah, SemJay talking about the dogs washing out. The same thing also happens with greyhounds.
Yes.
Like, the sheer momentum of dog to not dog, like, they're dangerous ratios, folks. Those
Oh no,
happen
I'm
with
talking like
pitbulls.
washing out of training.
Yeah. We're having a topic change.
Is greyhounds, like,
They're long boys.
well, they're primarily, when you talk about, like, washing out, you mean for racing, yes? Or...
Yes.
Or even like competitive stuff, like
Yeah, mostly for racing.
What did dogs
Yeah.
greyhounds do competitively other than race?
they can do agility, they can do weight
Racing.
pull, they
Yeah,
can do
racing.
Being fast.
rally,
Ice sculpting.
fly ball.
Fly ball. Basketball. I believe there was a
Can they be drug
sequel
dogs?
to Air Bud where they faced a particularly competitive greyhound voiced by Robert Downey Jr. This was 2002. He wasn't famous again.
No.
I mean, Robert Downey Jr. had some weird movie choices in that in-between time.
He was really into speed things too, so of course he was a greyhound. Cough, cough, cocaine.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast. I believe he said that phrase, and that's where like they came up with the Sonic X theme song right after Air Bud, Rise of the Greyhounds, starring Robert Downey Jr. as the Greyhound. And then like someone at Forkheads Entertainment was just sitting in the audience saying, "I've got an idea for a theme song."
I have to find this and watch this now. I'm
It
sure
sounds
it's
like
horrible.
canon to me.
It absolutely is. I was still looking it up on Google. Like,
I'm sure it was
take what I have to
direct-
say is-
I'm sure it was one of those direct-to-video releases.
Well, no, every Air Bud other than the original Air Bud was direct to video.
That's true.
And it took 13 years for there to be an actual body count in that franchise, but they did it. They pulled it off in Temple Buddies, the Indiana Jones ripoff. Yeah, someone died in an Air Bud movie. It was a henchman, and they worked for a dog catcher, so they deserved to fucking die, and they made it clear. But somebody died in an Air Bud movie by falling into a trap in a pyramid.
As one does.
Okay.
Look it up,
See?
Treasure Buddies.
Thought by body count you just you meant the number of airbuds they went through.
Oh,
They changed
oh,
it every
no.
time
Oh,
they
that was
acknowledged
body
it.
count.
The Air
Body
Bud,
count, yes.
the Air Buddy body count. I have died 5 times in 30 seconds, and that's honestly incredible.
Good.
More than Airbud.
That's
How
than an
is it
Airbud
incredible?
franchise, that's for damn sure.
I've died at
Anyway.
least 7 times in that amount of time.
Cool.
No, but yeah, so the place I got my 2 dogs.
Yeah, sorry. Back to your dog stories.
Yeah, they place retired hounds, and I got 2 from the same litter.
Oh,
And actually, their other 2 litter mates are somewhere in Chicago.
I
Oh,
know
really?
Chicago. Really?
I've heard of that place.
It's somewhere in the top 3 cities. It's no New York or LA, but at least it's not Houston.
Yeah, I grew up in Houston. I agree.
At least
Houston's-
it's not.
Houston's a nice place to be from.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I used to say about Chicago when I lived in Phoenix.
Hey, I went to Phoenix too, and I said, Chicago, I'm from there. It's not a nice place to be from. But here we are, ironically moving to Houston, hopefully in the summer. So, all
Enjoy,
right. Well,
enjoy the construction on 45.
it's okay. I know the construction on 45, US 45. That, folks, is an interstate joke compared to US Route 45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
We laugh, nobody gets it.
I didn't even get it, and I'm from here.
US 45. Maybe you'll know it as LaSalle Boulevard when it runs congruent with 12 and 20.
Chicago roads are
Yeah.
weird.
But what about
You only
90,
want
I-90,
I-90.
and 190?
That's
And-
the interstate.
and
Those are
290.
I. You have to put I's in
And there's
front of it.
290.
And 294 and 88 and all those other wonderful numbers. 55, 57. The list goes on and on.
Well,
Can
and
I
then
tell
you're
you
telling...
guys a really bad joke?
Do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it.
So this guy gets pulled over and he's on Route 88, or
Oh,
he's
God,
on
I know how this one goes.
he's
All
on
right, go.
88, and the cop pulls him over and says, "Hey, I pulled you over for speeding. You were going 88." And he says, "Oh," he goes, "I thought that was the speed limit." And he's like, "No, no, no. This is 88, the highway." And he goes, "Oh." And then the cop looks over at the passenger, and the passenger's like just white as a ghost, like eyes bugging out of his head and whatever. And he goes, "What's wrong?" What's wrong with him? He goes, "Well, if what you're telling me is true, then we just got off at 355.
Thank you. You said 355, the correct number. Good punchline.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, where I grew up.
Anyway, Morton Arboretum is beautiful. That is at the junction of 355 and 88. I'm going to just put plugs in for it. Tell him Boomer sent
I
you.
used to work right there at an animal hospital right there.
I used to work right at Morton Arboretum.
The hospital I worked at is it's still there. It's called Arboretum View.
No kidding.
Uh-huh.
My grandma died there.
At Arboretum View, the vet hospital?
Was your grandma an animal?
No, her dog died there the same week afterwards. She died at Edwards in Naperville, but they put her
okay.
dog down afterwards the next day at Arboretum View. The
Okay,
dog was old. It's one of those things. Sorry, I made it sad. Whoops.
I was just there the other day because that's where we take our snake.
Oh,
What kind of snake do you
Because
have?
did you not know I have a snake?
I think I have somehow forgotten this.
Well, I mean,
story.
it's technically Dace's snake, but we have this really cute high pied ball python.
Oh, how adorable.
My bull
What's her
snake
name?
is giving me
Her name's
some,
Lulu.
some
Aw,
concern
Lulu's
and difficulty recently, and I think I got to take him to the vet.
Oof.
Oh no.
He's rejecting
Draggor
food,
agree.
and he keeps doing All right, so we're making it about poop and cloacas now.
All right, here we go.
Do we have
So
a-
he's
As one
been
does.
he's been rejecting food, which, considering the season, it's plausible he's horny.
I mean, as one does.
So
Poop and cloaca.
the difficulty becomes he's still drinking water, so I keep cleaning out his cage, and there's it's not a full-on poop mess, but I have to imagine with the same hole, if a snake is peeing, it might also be an overall shart or poop or something.
Sure.
And so,
sure.
This has been happening at least once a week. for a
Alright.
couple of weeks now, and like he's done that before where it takes several incidents to get what he has eaten out of his system, but like he hasn't eaten in 5-6 weeks now. So I don't know. I'm now sufficiently
He's got like a
worried.
backup.
So
Oh man, I can relate.
He's like
Yeah, I
that
know
one,
that feeling.
like that one King of the Hill episode where Hank can't poop.
this is
Yeah.
the opposite, where my pet snake is basically doing watery sharts, and I don't know if it's just normal because he's having that
Ooh.
much water and he's moving around a lot, and it's just knocking stuff loose, or if something's wrong.
That's a wonderful question that I don't think we can answer, but we can at Arboretum View.
You could go to Dr. Gray at Arboretum View.
You said your
Oh,
snake's
yeah.
name is Lulu?
Yeah, she's. Hang on.
Wait, I'm a doctor?
Is the character's name Crush Lulu? Yes. There's like an anime where there's a character named Crush Lulu, and that's where he got the name from.
Cool.
It's his anime waifu.
You named your snake after an anime waifu. That is.
I didn't. He did. My partner did.
Your partner didn't.
As one does.
That's fine. I mean, you are united as one, so I'm still judging you for it. But
That's fine.
okay.
I
You're still
mean-
cool.
I
You're still
will
cool. I'm
accept
just,
it.
Like, naming your pet after anime.
I mean,
Little
but-
bit of an eye roll. Little bit of an eye. Not a
Hey,
big
hey,
one.
Boomer. Hey, Boomer. Shut up.
like,
Okay.
so all 4 dogs in my dog's litter are they're registered racing names for Narnia names.
Nice.
So I
Alright.
have Caspian and Tumnus. Caspian and Tumnus. In Chicago, there's Rillian and Paravel.
Jumbo's
I
is
have
named
to
after a
admit-
cartoon horse that was never actually drawn.
Right? Seriously, I
true.
told Zanny that ages ago that was the name because Zanny is a bigger, well, especially because they're older, is a bigger Space Ghost fan than either of us. And so, I'm like, oh yeah, the dog's name is Jumbles. And Zan's looking at me like, not getting it right away. And I'm like, think about it on Space Ghost. And I didn't say anything more. It took, I don't know if it was more than a week or not before I got the message back in all capitals. Oh, Jumbles. Pretty pony. Pretty Jumbles.
Pony, pretty Jumbo.
Oh, we named the dog Jumbles.
Dang it, Draggor. Round.
I might have to name a pet Banjo one day. That's
Right?
a real good one.
I think I have a friend who has a dog named Banjo.
Yeah,
Is his name McDonald?
That's a solid dog name.
It
What
is.
is it named after a sea monkey?
That's the trick in it.
Are you ever gonna have a cat named Boo Boo Kitty or no?
No.
What's the yeah, never mind.
Kitty Boo Boo?
Boo Boo Kitty.
No, Jumbles knows.
That's
Zargoz
correct.
knows.
Yeah, Boo Boo Kitty,
Kitty
Fuck
Fuck?
was
Boo
from
Boo Kitty fuck is
Yeah, that's an old
You
meme.
askew.
Old meme.
20
but
years.
going
even.
back further. There was Boo Boo Kitty on Space Ghost.
Yep.
Honestly, I think Boo Boo Kitty fuck is derivative of that. I
It
feel like Kevin
probably
Smith
is.
probably watched Space Ghost.
When
wouldn't
I
be
was watching it last time and I saw that part, I'm like, oh, I bet he did rip that off. Yeah, I had
Probably.
that same thought.
Yeah, I
I
think,
mean, it's classic 90s culture.
yeah, that's dial-up era.
I'm gonna call freaking Kevin Smith and say, "Did you name Boo Boo Kitty fuck after Boo Boo Kitty?" And he's like, "Leave me alone. I'm trying to have a career."
Not anymore. I don't
Emphasis
think.
on
Have you seen the last
trying.
movie?
Yoga Hosers, I have not seen.
Good game, close one, Draggor. Good stuff.
I was just talking about Jay and Silent Bob reboot. That was
Oh, oh,
We
no.
don't talk about that.
No.
I'm just glad that I managed to win 3 rounds. Wait, was it 3 or 2, Draggor?
No, I don't think we
we
would.
weren't counting. I think it was when we were playing with bots.
Oh, fun map.
Yeah, but it was still a good ego boost for me. I don't get that very often.
Oh yeah, hey, I feel good when I win against bots. Again, I very rarely win at shooters.
Well, bots and also Draggor doing a podcast, which I know is
Yeah.
very hindering to his ability.
Yeah, there. Yeah. Wah.
Yeah, sometimes I can be, godlike at this game while doing the discussion and hosting duties, but that's very, very rare.
we doing,
Usually the game
Doom
is
tonight?
not what I am focusing on, and it's just play mistake after play mistake after play mistake.
No, I have the tiger here.
But
We doing Doomware tonight?
I was actually about to bring up, after this map, that we can either do a Doomware server, I've got one ready to host, or we can just switch over to the All Fear the Sentinel one. Because we've got enough people that we can just leave this server. It wouldn't hit any player caps on the other one. I think they, support 12, so that should be good. And it's a new edition, so I don't know what's changed. I haven't checked out the changelog yet, but SemJay, I don't know if that is of interest to you or not, but there is a WarioWare-like minigame mod for Doom.
Oh, it's so
Oh,
derpy.
boy.
It's fun.
It's fun. You'd enjoy it. I don't even know who you are, but it's fun if you like Doom.
It is, yes, it is silly, and I would like to think that, I don't know if there's new games yet or not. My overall goal, I keep looking at the source code. I want to make a minigame for it. I really do.
What do you got in mind?
Is it about foxes?
I want to do, so they've had a couple of games like it, and they haven't come up in the rotation, because I assume the coding for it was just too buggy, but they had a couple of one versus many asymmetrical games, and I would love to figure out something like that.
Okay.
Where, instead of it randomly picking,
Like the boss fights?
no, more like dropping the floor, for example. Instead of one of the 9 tiles randomly flashing and leaving, the person who's the controller gets a point for each person that they effectively frag or get to drop off, and
I
then...
don't think those actually exist. The asymmetrical ones are coded with people that play the game often enough. They haven't made any actual proper asymmetricals yet.
Well, they've got one, at least the first version I played, where you could be the controller, and everyone's either trying to frag the controller or just survive, but I never actually got that game to work. It just,
I don't think it actually
seemed
exists.
buggy from the beginning. So...
Because, I do MDF stuff with Doomware, and Boo's in those games, but the whole gist of it is Boo plays enough of those games that they always make it look like they're the asymmetrical receiver. I don't think they've coded anything in yet. They make it look like it and make it look really convincing, but I haven't seen anything yet.
Well, whatever the one it was, it did not even work when I was demoing it at the time, and I have not seen it in the rotation sets. Oh,
So
hi,
maybe
SemJay.
it's in beta. Hi, SemJay.
I was
Hi, SemJay.
hiding up on a little perch.
I saw, and I got very lucky that I dodged those destructive green laser beams.
Freaking laser beams with
Sharks
I
on their
to
head.
think they're popsicles.
bye pizza.
Who's
Is
flying?
Pizza Meister one of ours?
I have no idea who that is. I have seen them around, but they could be a furry.
They
Are they
could
still
be
playing?
anyone.
Let's find out.
They
Yeah,
could be a popsicle.
They could be you. They could be me.
There, Pizza Meister, are you a furry?
Riddle me this, Batman. And they're gonna go like, oh shit, is this a furry server? And they're gonna like leave immediately.
Hey,
Then we
most
know
of
they
the
are.
people I say that this is a furry server to, they stick around.
And then
They're like, oh.
they join our little soiree, and they'll join us at MFF 2023 or whenever it starts back up.
I know Hendrix is a furry. I've seen him on some other Discord
Draggor, you
servers.
won.
2027. Brought to you by
Yeah,
Fuck.
Walt Disney's
Come on.
MFF 2027.
Come on, pizza, respond.
Oh my pizza.
Gotta give it 30 minutes, Dragger.
We're furries.
Yeah, 30 minutes or furries.
No, I
No,
am
I am
garlic
gar-
crust.
So
I
he's
think-
pansexual.
He might be a prankster.
No,
Are we rocking and rolling on
no,
WarioWare?
that's a like the garlic crust thing is a like a pan/ace meme.
All right.
Pan crust ace? Like is
Pan
garlic?
glass ace.
Mm,
All right.
Neo
So I'm gonna do
pansexual,
copy.
asexual.
I understand pan ace. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't know why it's a meme. I just know that it is.
Okay, so I am quitting my game in both of our chats and also in the Dragit general chat. I have pasted the name of the Doomware server, so if in the search box in Doomseeker in the upper right-hand corner, instead of Draggor, just put Doomware, you will find the server, and you will also soon find it because I will be in the server. I am ready to
Yeah.
go right now.
Which one are you going into? You went into NE or TSPG?
MDF presents Doomware Sundays number 7.
So it's the exact copy of that.
It probably will prompt you to download unless you've
Yep, we'll
grabbed
put the
it
exact copy
already.
of that.
Yeah, that's freaking MDF. Oh my god.
I'm gonna get going because I gotta get back to work. I'm
That
trying
is
to
okay.
Launch... Yeah, I'm trying to launch my business before the 27th. That would be great.
So,
Well, best of luck.
when it is time to launch, if you would like to return and we do a special and have a chat about that, which will very much be an adult version.
Yeah, that's gonna have to be an adult chat for sure.
But I have no problems. It's just words. We can talk about it. I will gladly do that. So,
Wait,
if
what
you
kind
want,
of
you
story is
as I tell everyone, you do not have to confirm nor even deny live on the show. But we can chat afterwards if that is of interest to you. Regardless, thank you for coming by, SemJay, and talking with Xargoz and myself about service animals and then just our beloved fuzzy critters and scaly ones in general.
Oh yeah, and that reminds me, I'll send you a picture of the snake.
Yes.
Oh,
I gotta post more Twix
oh.
pictures.
Actually, Dasta just told me that he already sent you a picture.
Oh, good.
He loves it.
I'm glad.
He loves this snake, so. She's so cute, too. Oh my god. She's got, like, the best personality. I love it.
Oh, controls are reversed. Holy balls.
They are.
Controls are reversed. Yeah, have fun with this.
I'm just taking it slow and steady.
I died. I freaking died. Just do what you need to do. Get the extra life, dear.
I have no idea where the extra life is.
It's like right before the end. There's that little thing. Oh, you died. Nice job.
No, I didn't.
Shit. I'm down by 1.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Kamikaze!
Ow!
I think people are on the other server still, so I'm gonna send a
it's
message
just-
to them.
Okay.
Let's see, can I do
I'm
that?
good. I'm good. I'm good.
I had to go do a thing.
I was a fox.
Cool.
Which server, Dragger?
MDF presents Doomware Sundays number 7. If you just search for Doomware and you refresh, you will
Draggor?
What's
find
new?
the
Dragger,
one
I'm
we are
sorry
on.
to interrupt, but I'm having an issue with this because I don't have I reinstalled with your packets and such, but this server doesn't auto-install everything you need.
It should. You might have
Oh,
to
I
try
can't join.
again. Sometimes the WAD seeker doesn't get the files right away. Ooh, who said hello? Hello, Sean.
I'm sorry,
Adrian's
did my mic out
in.
there? I just noticed my audio cut out.
You're good, Gray.
But yeah, I can't join the server because it doesn't auto-install all the files I actually need. And I have no idea what the files I need are.
If you hover
It's
over
just
WADs,
mod,
it
I
tells
think.
you, and all of those files are attainable on.
Oh, I get the same,
It's not working at
make
all?
sure you're using the exact same wads.
Well, then
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave this and host a server, and it will be called. Doomware will still be in the title. I'm glad I set this up ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry again for interrupting. I just want to, you know.
No, it's all right. Everyone's having the same problem. It's understandable.
I'm not, and whoever joined with me didn't.
That was me. But if there were only the two of us.
All right, Draggor's Little Hiss Den Doomware Edition is live.
Draggor's Little Hiss Den. How sweet.
Interesting. Why does this wad have different starting colors? Unless, like, it's got a randomizer now. Am I actually using the right wad? Looks like it.
I'm still seeing Instagib.
I'm in.
No, there's 2 Draggor servers now. You have to refresh.
What?
Yeah, you're all
Just quit.
still in the other game. All right.
I'm gonna stay spectating until more people show up. Yeenmeister is in.
That's me.
Hooray. Oh my glob. I just looked at my avatar and my arms are broken. This is amazing. Oh my god. Look.
I don't even want to know.
Oh, this is great. All
Looks
right,
like you're
I
doing
see.
some
Oh,
kind
my
of
bad.
yoga or like a reverse dab. Like a dab behind your head.
Oh, this is. I'm not fixing this. I'm leaving it the rest of the stream. That is
And
quite
no,
all
no,
right.
just leave it in full on.
Leave it in all its glory.
Hi, everyone.
I have been murdered by John Romero.
Bye.
I was not.
Reach the
All
end.
right, I will see you guys later. I gotta go demold stuff. So
Okay.
Bye,
Okay.
SemJay. Good luck.
Have a good one.
bye. Thanks for having me. I had fun again.
I'm glad. Huzzah! And to
And
being
yay,
able to
Service
see each
Doggos.
other in
Yes.
at conventions and meet space before the year is up, I hope.
That would be nice. That would definitely be nice.
Oh my gosh, this thing is so warm. I'm unplugging it. Ow, ow. That might undo the arms.
Well, I'm back, and goodbye, I guess.
Goodbye. Thanks for showing up.
We came over and asked to play with Jumbles.
Oh.
Oh, my
Has-
Jeopardy.
Would you say Jumbles
no,
has
I
been
lost-
especially
I was-
demanding as of late?
I mean, since this last week has been like sunny and 70s, she's been fucking thrilled.
Oh, who pushed me? Fuck you.
That was me.
Everyone died. Don't worry.
No,
Except for
I
one.
didn't.
Shit.
Ah.
The floor is lava. Ah!
Yes, it is.
Now's the air lava. Oh. Dicks.
Yeah, I got the mushroom.
I missed it like a bastard that
Eat
I am.
bees.
Got
I'm
a
not screwed
mushroom.
right now. All right.
Yeah, there are
Someone
Mario
please start.
1-up mushrooms in a lot of the levels that give you an additional point.
As
Yeah, I
one
missed it.
does.
Yes. Yes, they do. Hey
I've
guys.
never
what up?
seen that.
What up, you puppy? Bye.
Wah wah.
hey,
I got
where
one
you at?
frag and then I got fragged.
I lived, bitch. Wait.
Oh, oh,
Uh-oh.
oh, the frozen, the frozen.
Hey guys. Surprise.
What a
Okay. Nobody
weird
died.
mini game.
We
I love
all
it.
lived. What a stupid game if we all live. All right. Hey guys, my favorite.
Oh, you guys are on a different server, and I am playing
Nice.
against bots.
And I failed. But I
Yeah,
did
I
shove
did.
someone off. Yes, Jumbles,
was me,
we are
thank you.
on my server, the other Draggor one.
No.
Yeah, the one with WarioWare or Doomware.
Yes.
Power to believe.
Download.
You might have to refresh, and it might make you download the new WAD.
Oh no!
I did not
6
survive.
megabytes.
Thank whoever pushed me off.
Everybody dies. Rocks fall. Kamikaze. He's right there. Shit.
I mean,
I
we all
didn't
die
even move.
eventually.
I was alt-tabbed out fixing something.
Hey, welcome to the chasm. We got fun as shit.
God damn it. Fuck. Shit.
And other such obscenities.
Ah!
Hey, everyone, watch out. Good job.
Banana!
Banana.
Don't equip.
You're,
Okay.
you're fine. You're good. You didn't press the button.
Usually people see equip and then immediately change a weapon, and it's funny.
Bye.
Wait, I have to spam it now? Aw.
Yeah, hit the real barrel. Oh,
Did I do
see
it?
Ah,
Nope.
ah, no.
It exploded in front of me, though, so that was annoying.
Uh-oh, uh-oh. The spikes were fine.
Chopper Dave, we got uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Nope.
Yeah! Yeah! Impy lived! Eat bees!
That was weird. My screen said I both failed and won at the exact same moment.
Oh, the
Oh,
worst one in this entire set.
I'm just pressing all the buttons on my keyboard at once. Because I
did
said
it!
macro do that.
I somehow pulled it off for the first time ever.
Don't
Stop
not-
moving. Shit.
Double negatives! Curse ye!
Oh, that's triple negative. Oh, shit. Oh, shoot. I spawned weird.
Into the goop I go.
Bye.
I believe
Yeah,
it's
I-
Yeah! I got the mushroom and made it to the
Lava.
end!
Yeah, I spawned weird, so congratulations. All right. Terry Wad.
No, not Tim Curry.
Ah!
Uncultured weirdo.
I don't even know who Tim Curry is.
Evidently. Okay, blue.
No! That was
Fuck.
so fast! Oh
Yeah, I
my
know.
gosh! Oh.
Wait, do we run into each other?
I think it glitched
Aw.
out pretty hard, because it wouldn't even let me move at the beginning.
Okay.
Alright, one more,
Set the table
and then
stage,
that will be
right?
the end of this stream.
I need to get food, so yeah.
I have Art of Pizza waiting for me.
Oh boy.
I like
getting-
cereal.
I'm getting myself a risotto.
I know how to make
Good ball.
risotto now, and I am happy.
The air is lava.
Oh god.
Everybody
that
at Pizza
was-
Meister's okie dokie.
Very
Yeah,
tolerant.
risotto's a lot of stirring.
It's time to abandon. Oh God, there's only one open. See ya.
There's one open
Damn
at
it,
a
Drag-
time.
Damn it, Boomer.
What? I like
It's
to
like
blow
a
my-
game of Simon Says with death
No!
being the penalty.
I mean, that's commentary. I
How
died.
do you do this one?
You have to jump backwards when it goes around a corner.
Ugh.
It's really tricky. If floor is lava, don't. Shut up. Just don't say anything. Asshole.
Wait, am I my green mech?
Yes, you are. You
Oh
are.
God!
I saw your little green mech fall into the hole. That was you, all right.
Are you sure?
I definitely saw a green mech fall into the pit as you died.
Yeah, I definitely shoved some people off the edge. It was pretty great.
It was all worth it for everyone to die. Those are my favorite games. Rocks fall, everyone dies, etc. See ya.
Did you know if you hold down forward in that one, you can see plaid?
That's ludicrous.
Oh, no, 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 no! I ran right into the rocket like a ding
As one
dong.
does.
Oh no,
Okay.
it's cyber Emmett.
Okay, that's kind of bullshit because I literally stayed dead until halfway through that, and I still got the point.
It's still dodgy.
There's still bugs being worked out.
Yeah, that was. I'm not gonna deny that was bullshit, but that's how that one works.
I have force respawn on, but it doesn't quite do it.
Weren't there supposed to be guys shooting us?
Yeah, that's a... I don't like how that game works. Like, it used to
Get
be...
off the ground.
Ah!
I won.
Good for you.
It used to be harder, and then there was an early change. Hey, I won that one! Finally!
Yeah, it used to be harder than you get older.
Whack a
No,
Diglett.
it's less hard, less often when you get older. Oh, shit. I
No!
won.
No! Everyone whacked the Diglett in front of me! You bastards!
That sounds nasty. Oh, don't step on the.
I've never played this one before! That's
By the
awesome!
way. Yeah, that one's fun. Hey, rocks fall, everyone dies. I'm gonna SR 50.
Hey, I got the
It
mushroom!
did me no good. Good job, Draggor.
I like
Hi,
mushrooms!
Archviles. As do I. They're my favorite pizza topping and drug.
Yay! I
God,
survived. Huzzah.
Oh, oh.
How the F am I not dead?
Good question.
Oh, there I am.
you know what? Oh, we're all dead. Nice job. We ran together though. Pick a source port. Xandronum. Pick the least popular. Oh, Max.
This
I
is a
don't
new
know
game.
what these things mean.
That one's evil. Oh, hi, Hissy.
I made it to Hissy!
Hissy!
I have no idea what's going on.
Mayday!
Sign key. Red.
I
That's
am
the only time I've
Hissy
ever
in
gotten a point
Bean
on
Meat
that.
game.
There's so much Doom lore in this. Whee!
Oh ho ho! Cluck cluck,
Good shit,
mother
everyone.
Cluck,
cluckers!
cluck. No!
No,
See
no,
you later,
no!
bastard. Hey, Lamau. You want to go for that one?
I tried to
I,
go for it, I died.
for the first time in a
Yeah.
long time, I failed.
Oh, I missed it. I got the mushroom, but
Oh,
lost
I
the war.
missed.
Dang it, Draggor.
honestly, the way that this computer is running, I'm just gonna do fucking Doom Eternal tonight.
Ooh, there is
I haven't gotten
someone
to do
as
Elder-
Jordy.
Jordy?
Yeah.
Jordy.
I love Jordy.
Well, I ain't winning, but
Wait, the movie or the Star Trek character?
Jordy.
Star Trek character. There's a
Or the
Jordy with a
Cam
phaser
War.
rifle. All right, folks. This has been Dooming with me, Draggor. We had guest SemJay along with Xargoz for today. Next week, we will have wonderful metal musician Alice Kane Wolf. And I am also commissioning her to do music for this silly little show. Check her out. I will be putting together the blog post and all of that to be released tomorrow. She's got a bunch of stuff on Spotify and other streaming locations, so do check them out. And if you can and it interests you, go buy them albums. For now, have a good rest of your weekend. Say goodnight, y'all.
Good night, y'all.
All right, y'all.